All right, about 15 seconds, we'll get started. Senator Ford will start it off, and then let the Attorney General speak, and then we'll probably open it up to questions. Take it away.
Thank you for coming, everyone. I'm Senator Lindsay Port from Burnsville and Savage. I am very pleased to be standing here in front of you today saying that the Minnesota Senate just took the first step to passing price gouging protections for Minnesotans today.
Hey.
It is about time. This is a bill that has sat in committee for 2 years without hearings, without a conversation in the Minnesota Senate, and it really was brought to urgency, and we moved it forward today because of the crisis on the baby formula shortage. Minnesotan parents across the state are running from grocery store to grocery store, searching online, calling friends and family in other countries to try to send them baby formula. It is absolutely vital for the growth, for the development, for the lives of babies across our state that they have access to this essential good. And we are seeing people preying on those parents, those families in a tragic moment of need and trying to profit off of that tragedy. This bill, this price gouging bill, would put into Minnesota statute definitions, penalties, the ability for our great Attorney General to investigate and prosecute and help protect Minnesota consumers. It really is a vital step to protecting Minnesotans. This bill passed the House last March, over a year ago, and we really need to codify this into law. I will say that this is just step one. It is now, 55 folks voted for this in the Minnesota Senate today, so a majority of the Republican caucus was also with us, and I'm grateful for their support. It is now on the majority and Majority Leader Miller to bring this to the floor and let us vote on this, let us pass this important protection for Minnesotans. And I would like to pass it to our Attorney General, Keith Ellison.
Well, thank you, Senator. And I am always proud of this group of dedicated public servants, but today I'm particularly pleased with you guys. Thank you all very much for everything you do. Let me just lay the story out just a little. The root of the baby formula shortage is a crisis of market concentration. 90% of baby formula is made by like 4 companies. That means that when there's an unexpected issue, like a major production facility suddenly shuts down, market concentration makes us vulnerable to these shortages. We've seen this vulnerability in other industries as well. Last year, the majority of a major meatpacking company, JBS, was subject to a ransomware attack that led to 20% of America's meatpacking capacity going down. We need more market participants. Everyone understands that unforeseen market disruption sometimes happens. But when it comes to essential items that people need to live on and make a living, like baby formula, I think, things like food, medicine, gas, things like that, sudden shortages shouldn't lead to spiking prices. Nothing about the shutdown of one company's baby formula manufacturing plant has changed the market fundamentals for the other 3 companies. The cost of their raw materials and supplies has not suddenly gone up. The cost of distribution has not suddenly gone up. Their employee salaries certainly have not suddenly gone up. There's really no justification other than they seized an opportunity. The only thing that's gone up is their profits in this moment. They've taken advantage of this unexpected shortage to raise prices and make a profit at the expense of the public, which these senators are not standing by and watching. And so it's unfair for them to do that, and it's wrong. Pure profiteering off essential items that people need to live on and make a living. In this case, profiteering off of an item people need to keep their babies alive is wrong. This sure looks like price gouging. What can we do about it under Minnesota law? Not enough. Not enough under current law. Minnesota is one of 13 states in these United States that has no laws against price gouging. Most states have these laws. We don't. We're asking to join the rest of the country here. States that are red and blue. So this is not a partisan issue at all. I repeat, Minnesota is one of 13 states that has no laws against price gouging, not one. I think this comes as a shock to a lot of people. Usually, we're really in front of the curve when it comes to consumer protection. Not on this. Minnesota has some great consumer protection laws, and I'm glad to enforce them every day. But this is a hole in our law, and we need to plug it right now. And you all have taken a great step forward to do that, and I'm so proud of you. Now, during this pandemic, Governor Walz signed an executive order that banned pandemic profiteering on essential items for the duration of the peacetime emergency. My office had the ability to enforce that executive order, and we did. We set up a price gouging complaint form on our website. Between that form and the calls we took every day, we got 2,400 complaints of price gouging on essential items. And we looked into every single one of those complaints. We often were able to resolve them with a call or a letter, but we got in there and we made a difference. But the law is what allowed us to do it. We also warned online retailers that they really shouldn't try it because we would be enforcing the law. And we won 7 settlements with companies that were engaging in price gouging on food items and essential items such as N95 and KN95 masks, toilet paper, eggs being sold 3 times the pre-emergency price, rice, and other items like that. The work that protected Minnesotans, this work protected Minnesotans from unconscionable behavior and put money back into the pockets of families. I'd like to be able to do more, but we need the legal authority to do so. I used to be a lawmaker, but I'm not one anymore. This is my friends here. I do try to enforce the laws that they write, and we need one now. So let me just say, 37 states have laws on the books against unconscionable price gouging. Minnesota does not. We can fix that on a bipartisan basis very soon, and we should. These senators are ready, and we need some more help from some more folks. It's just a common sense bill that I'm confident has the support of the majority of Minnesotans, and it certainly has the support of all these senators. It's time to see if it has majority support in the Minnesota Senate. With that, I call on the Senate to pass this bill. Thank you.
Okay, time for questions?
Question is, why did they let it go to general orders but not come up for immediate consideration? What's the strategy there? Do you have any thoughts on that? I know you're not supposed to talk about motivations, but you can with us.
I think and I hope that the plan was previously to recess at this point in the day, and I hope as we consider the rest of the bills that were on the agenda that this will be a part of that.
You were thinking the bill might come up today even? Is that your hope?
I'll be working for that.
Does this bill contain funding for enforcement, or would enforcement be done through the AG's office?
It would be done through the AG's office.
Attorney General, can you talk about any reports you've received about price gouging for baby formula? And can you do anything at this point? Are there other laws that you can try and enforce there?
Well, right now, our consumer protection laws really have at the heart of them some form of a deception, some form of a misrepresentation. And so our consumer laws are actually pretty good, but in order to go after folks who are breaking them, we've got to show that there's some sort of consumer fraud going on. Just, an exorbitant price increase, there is no law that prevents that. They can say we're doing it, and there's not much we can do about it. As I mentioned, under the COVID, executive orders, we did have some authority, and we used it quite a lot. But right now, you asked about complaints. I don't know we've gotten some. We have about 20 folks working in our consumer action group all day long. Why don't you see what Parker has ready? And I'll let you know, like, in real time, but I haven't talked to him this morning. But, we have folks taking calls all day long, and we're taking them right now.
Would you need more people to do this?
You know what? Obviously, we are packed to the gills, right? We're working at capacity at this point. We would like the support to do it well. But I will also tell you that just the legal authority would help consumers. But again, you need people to do it, and everybody's busy. But if we had the authority, we could shuffle around. But so we need both, actually, but we need the authority probably more.
And since you're talking about people, do you know where the conference committee on public safety judiciary stand on your request for more people to help with these prosecutions?
All I can say is that victims need criminals prosecuted, and we stand with our counties on the most serious offenses committed in this state. Did over 38 serious criminal convictions in the last 3 years, ready to do many more, over 160 criminal appeals. And I just hope that everybody focuses on crime victims, and if they do, I'm sure they'll lead to the right answer.
You don't know if it's in or out.
No, not yet. We're hopeful. You know what I mean? We're hopeful that people prioritize crime victims.
Senator Latz, you're the minority lead, are you, or?
Yes.
So can you tell us anything about how that's going?
I understand the House and the Senate conferees or the chairs are talking with each other. The request from the Attorney General's office is for $1.8 million to build up the capacity in the criminal division, which handles the trial court prosecutions and appeals on important statewide legal issues. So in a $9 billion budget surplus, they ought to be able to find $1.8 million to prosecute criminals and protect victims and get them justice. We don't have any idea yet whether that's going to make it into the final report. It's part of the House proposal. We're still trying to get it into the Senate proposal.
Do you find it interesting that the Republican candidate for Attorney General took that same position in supporting that additional funding at the convention last weekend, Senator?
I think it's a bipartisan support issue.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Have you all received any guidance or feedback on how long you're going to be here this weekend or what that
One day more.
Midnight Sunday.
We brought a change of clothes.
All weekend. Nothing concrete yet.
No, we won't know until we adjourn signing.
And you're fairly confident they're not going to come back from this recess and
Good timing.
motion to reconsider?
Hi.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You're fairly certain they're not going to come back from this recess and do a motion to reconsider and take back their votes?
I would sure hope that there is not a push to stop the progress we made today on protecting families from price gouging on baby formula. I think that's a thing that we can agree on. 55 senators voted for it. That's more than we would need to bring it up to the floor today for a vote. I can't imagine why people would want to take that vote back.
Can I just make one, just so we're really clear? The only thing that needs to happen for this bill to be taken from general orders and put before the full Senate is Jeremy Miller can simply place it on special orders. He gets to make that decision. If he fails to do that, then we have the opportunity to suspend the rules and compel that to happen by a suspension of the rule, 2/3 suspension of the rules vote, 45 votes.
Them's the rules.
Thank you all.
Anybody else?
I think Leader Franzen, Lopez Franzen was going to speak.
Well, thank you, Senator Melissa Lopez Franzen, Senate Minority Leader in the DFL caucus, with my colleagues here, and we're happy to have Attorney General Ellison recognize that this is a crisis. And as a mom of young kids, I can't even imagine what mothers and parents are going through right now. This should not be exploited, and we can fix it. We can fix it today. So I think we have taken action. I'm glad that our colleagues keep pushing for common sense solutions to all the problems that Minnesotans face, including this one right now. As for the weekend, we are going to be here all weekend, and we are moving forward with some negotiations. Things are still fluid, but we're expecting to be on the floor today, tomorrow, and Sunday until 11:59, until we can pass all the bills. And we hope that our Republican colleagues can come to agreement on very important issues like public safety and obviously bonding are big issues for us. But we have a lot of issues what we need to resolve on education, on transportation, on health and human services, on housing, and baby formula, of course. So if I had to prioritize one, it would be feeding our kids.
Thank you, everybody.